If you care a lot about the future of TikTok in the US, there are some important dates for your calendar in 2025, because a lot will happen. On January 10th, the Supreme Court is going to hear arguments from both the Department of Justice, which is trying to enforce the ban, and TikTok, which has this one last chance to stop it. TikTok argues that its almost 200 million US users will lose their constitutional right to free speech if the app is no longer available. The ACLU and others agree. But the Department of Justice will argue that TikTok threatens national security. It says because TikTok's owner ByteDance must answer to China, then US citizens are always going to be at risk. The DOJ also says that because ByteDance has the option under the law to sell TikTok to another company, America's free speech doesn't necessarily have to be impacted. That argument was the one that worked in the lower court. For that reason, many legal experts think it's unlikely that the Supreme Court will overrule the ban. Issues of national security typically take precedence, even over free speech. If the ban is upheld, then the next big date to look out for will be January 19th. That's the deadline for TikTok to either find a buyer, which seems very unlikely at this point, or for app stores to remove the app. It would be a defining moment for digital freedom in the US, and it would be great news for rivals like Instagram and YouTube, the two apps that are expected to pick up the most users if TikTok is banned. But then just a day later, on January 20th, this man will return to the White House.
So I'm going to have to start thinking about TikTok.
Could Trump try to overturn the ban? Possibly. He could direct his Justice Department to not enforce it, or he could try to encourage Congress to pass a new law. Neither of those options would be easy. In the meantime, he has requested the Supreme Court pause the law until he is president and has had time to consider what he wants to do.
Maybe we got to keep this sucker around a little while.
That sounds good for TikTok, but Trump also says he wants to take over Canada, Greenland, and the Panama Canal. So who really knows what will happen next? Are you getting ready to leave TikTok? Let me know in the comments.